and here's what's central is because all this is relatable. I know people can easily try to disassociate, but even this idea of disclosure or panspermia, alien savior, all the stuff that all the world is going to,
Yep.
the only way that this can roll on to the scene is post World War III. That is why I say they must have it. They must have a nuclear exchange so that then the again that global collective traumatic experience that gives a hive mind, a counterfeit hive mind, that they can come in with the next level of deception to consolidate all power and religions and monetary systems and control under a new order of things with Luciferian initiation at the head of it all. So again, that gets into what is going on right now in real time. Great terror. Great terror. So Victor Suvorov in 1988, he wrote the book about Spetsnaz, specifically talking about Spetsnaz, the role of Spetsnaz, and what they would be doing just prior to World War III. Okay, are we ready for it? I'm gonna bullet point it, right? So this is their great terror. Suvorov, he details the role of Spetsnaz just prior to the initiation of World War III. Let me read his direct quote. He says, the last month of peace, as in other wars, has almost a palatable, wow, air of crisis about it. Incidents, accidents, and small disasters add to the tension. All these operations, because of course none of these events are an accident, are like any other known officially in the GRU as a preparatory period. And unofficially, it's known as the overture, if anybody's heard the word overture. The overture is a series of large and small operations, the purpose of which before actual military operation begins is to weaken the enemy's morale, create an atmosphere of general suspicion, fear, and uncertainty, and to divert the attention of the enemy's armies and police forces to a huge number of different targets, each with its own objective of the next attack. The Great Terror is a disruptor of infrastructure and sabotage conducted in a way that can never be directly related to Russia. This is what Suvorov wrote. This is our plan. The GRU reckons that in this period, its operations should be regarded as natural disasters, acts by forces beyond human control, mistakes committed by people, or as terrorist acts or organizations not connected with the Soviet Union. Think like, oh, the environmentalists did it, or the Antifa did it, or the BLM did it, or the left extremists did it, or the right extremists did it, or a disgruntled citizen. So the whole nature of the overture of this great terror before World War III is to create plausible deniability for the Russian government until it's time. They said they will require little or no weapons, very few people, rudimentary tools, basic sabotage with an easily explainable, plausible deniability. The overture is to last months and increase in frequency and broadness of evidence. Suvorov points this out, dude. Nuts. They will attack things like oil refineries. They will have train crashes in random spots carrying toxic chemicals. They will create massive forest fires that seem seemingly disconnected, are related to human error or human interaction. They will have unrelated outbreaks of deadly diseases. Sound familiar? To overwhelm our critical infrastructure. They will break down our communications by having attacks on our electrical power grids with small arms fires by Spetsnaz. And they will create psychological warfare throughout the country by creating scandal after scandal after scandal about our elected officials to create widespread distrust. So no matter what the government says, the American people will not react to it. I'll keep going. They said as a part of this great terror just prior, in the months prior to World War III, they will create food facility fires, train derailments, power substation sabotage, cyber attacks on key infrastructure. Dole Foods is under cyber attack right now. They totally shut down today. They will have they will have cyber attacks on our communications and on our banking infrastructure. The political scandals and the erosion of international support for the U.S. due to the incompetencies of our deep-seated corruption and scandal, and they will put into power a completely ineffective executive branch. And
that's all being done right now.
All done. It's done. They're doing it. So that's why I say there is an inevitability of World War III. Who knows the imminency? You and I know the logistics of war. It could be, it takes so long to mobilize and to activate and to put your things in place. It takes years of preparation, which they've been in years of preparation. And we're coming into this convergent zenith of the reality of this perestroika deception through the Great Terror unto World War III with a nuclear exchange to the consolidation of this new Luciferian world order and fulfillment of biblical prophecy with Gog and Magog and the armies of the East coming across and this great crescendo of peace being taken from the earth and men given over to slaughter one another, famine, disease, pestilence, war and rumors of war. And all this stuff is going on right now in real time and nobody's even paying attention to it.
Shalom, Kahala Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Ruach HaKodesh. Double honors my teachers, the apostles and elders of the great millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect, with the house of David reborn again in this generation. And Shalom to the 130 Yasharallah, who today are known as the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who before losing our true heritage are known as, and still are, the true Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Bible. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about the video we just watched and how it's all being done right now, as this man just reported on this video, right? It's called American Vindicta. It's a YouTube channel, but also it's a podcast or whatever. I'll post a link in the description. But he was highlighting a book that this guy, Viktor Surovov, he's some Russian army intelligence officer, and he wrote about the Spetsnaz, who are basically the special services, or the SRS, within the Russian military. And he basically spoke about what's going to happen before the missiles fly. Okay, I'm talking about the ICBM nuclear missiles. Well, let's read this before I get any further. This is Revelations 11 and 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. This is Isaiah 90 and 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confusion, or with confused noise, and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. So you see, the Bible, which was written multiple thousands of years ago, has prophesied that the world would come to a major battle, a major war, which the Bible refers to as Armageddon. And it states, as you see here, that it will be a different war from other types of war. That it would be, a war of fire and burning fuel. Okay, basically modern day warfare. And as it read in Revelations, that this is going to be the third iteration of these series of wars. Now, this here particularly is talking about the 3 world wars that are going to happen before the second coming of the Messiah. And as those men just said in this video, this is something that has been planned. And we all know through reading the secret writings of Albert Pike, who was a 33-degree Mason, who wrote to Giuseppe Mazzini, who was an Italian politician back in the late 1800s, that Esau, the so-called Caucasian race, right, the elites of that nation at least, had these wars planned out. And they had planned out these wars to bring forward the New World Order, basically Esau's perpetual empire that he's hoping to be able to accomplish. Now, that being said, what those men mentioned in the video is that these Sputniks, that what they would do is that they would start to attack the Babylonian or American infrastructure. They would create all these different scenarios where they would cause random crises and events which would overflood the infrastructure here in America and also around the world, right? Because you see, it isn't the Russians who are doing this, but it's the world elites, the government. Because again, though Russia may be pretending that they're against America and they're fighting the good fight, they're just playing a role. Okay, Putin's mom's a small hatter, right? And Russia has been taken over by Amalek since the Bolshevik Revolution back in the 1800s. Let's get the timeline. Back when in 1917, Amalek creates Bolshevik Revolution to overthrow the 1500 years of oligarch systems and install communism. So you see, the system right now in Russia and in China is all part of Amalek's plan, or should I say Edom's plan, to take over the entire world. So you ain't gonna have Russia come through as the hero on the horse and basically, bring the world back from a brink of destruction. No, but it's simply going to be playing its part. Now, that being said, Russia and America, they are fighting against each other in a certain aspect, because you see, Russia wants a higher seat at the table. Same thing with China and same thing with America. You see, Trump and the American Edomites, these are different factions than the British Edomites or the Russian Edomites or the Israeli Edomites. You see, right now, the world is going through a tumultuous change. And just like robbers who have just finished robbing a bank and they've come back to their hideout, they've started to fight against each other, right? The apostles have mentioned this. This is referred to as reverting back to being reservoir dogs, right? They're basically, attacking each other. Now, they all have an ultimate agenda and script that they're sticking to, but you could see that there's internal fights amongst themselves. This is Matthew 12:26. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? And with all this interfighting that's going on, for example, right now in America, you have a lot of state governments banning CBDC currency, which is becoming a very big thorn in Esau's side, with him trying to bring forward this new digital currency system. Other things that have happened is that you have countries pushing forward with embargoes and trade wars. See, all these things are going on while the elites are trying to orchestrate bringing forward their new world order. And all this is Satan fighting against Satan. This is why they're behind on their plans. This is why things just aren't going to their liking, right? What did they say when you look at the statistics of everybody accepting that, jump shot? A lot of people didn't take it. A lot more, or should I say, a lot more people than they expected did not take it. And there's been a lot bigger resistance to it, and especially now that you have all these doctor organizations or medical organizations are coming out against it, bringing out the facts. You have all these politicians and fucking devils who pushed it now straight blatantly lying to Congress and the Senate that they said that they didn't push it, right? And the people are seeing that it's going to be a lot harder the next time they try to bring out these mandates. But again, this is all simply Satan fighting against Satan. And this is good for us because this shows that that the prophecies are true, but second, what it's doing is that it's basically throwing a wrench into their plans. And this is all part of the Lord's plan, to have these devils fight within themselves and basically cause them to miss their scheduling, miss their timing for things. Right? Remember, they wanted to have this all done by 2012, as some of their insiders have said. But now they've pushed back the agendas to like 2030 instead of the 2020 plan. And they're getting sloppy with their moves. So much so that now whenever Esau tries to do something, you know, you have hundreds of videos go out calling him out, right? Exposing what he's doing, right? So he can't move without being exposed. That's why, right? This is why he wants to bring out these internet censorship laws and do all these things to stop the truth from coming out. This is why you have videos, things like this.
And we welcome that information. As I said before, if there's anybody out there that knows of someone that might be showing concerning behaviour around, you know, conspiracy theories, anti-government, anti-police, conspiracy theories around COVID-19 vaccination, as what we're seeing with the Train family, we'd want to know about. We want to know about that. And you can either contact police directly or go through constables.
So you see, Esau is now having to address all the people who are coming out speaking the truth, referring to them as conspiracy theorists, extremists, starting to make laws to target them directly. And ultimately all that is going to bring forward the prophecy of the famine of the word, which is what's going to happen when the Lord decides to close the doors of mercy which are currently open. This is Daniel 12:10. Many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. You see, it's very plain what these men in the videos of the beginning of this lesson were talking about is happening, right? Us here who have been watching the news and have been reporting it to Joachim, right, being the watchman that the Lord has set up, right, we can see it. And we're here explaining it to you and sharing this with you to show you that these things, it's not a joke. They are doing this now. This is literally happening. Again, remember, this video was released back in February, 8 months ago. And we are now currently living in the planned operations that this Russian SRS Sputnik's agent said was going on. When you go back to the 80s, Yuri Gregich or whatever, that basically the Russian KGB agent that defected here to America, he gave the whole rundown. He said exactly what Russia was going to do to bring down America. Right? This place is done for. It's through. This is Isaiah 47:1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. And why is America no longer going to be called tender and delicate? Well, because America will be defiled. It is going to be attacked. It currently is being attacked. And the thing is that the Lord has broken the rod or the scepter of the rulers. Right? And this is why you're seeing America quickly becoming a third world country with all the economic destruction that's going on, the medical health care system that's imploding upon itself, the people that can't really afford to pay rent or, you know, live day by day lives. This place is done for. It's through. And this is all done by the Lord's will. Yes, it has secular triggers that have caused all these things to happen, but all that's been done by the will of the Lord. This is 2 Timothy 3:1. Know this also, that in the last days perilous times shall come. And that's where we're currently living in right now. So right now is not the time to try to live your best life. right? It's the time to get right with the Lord, to build up these spiritual garments that we need to be able to stand in front of the Lord when we're judged. Because again, we're about to go into some very crazy times. And I just wanted to share this video because I wanted you all to see what these Russian agents have put in a book and have explained what they're going to do, so that way we're not caught unawares. Because again, remember, we're the children of light, and to us, we're going to be aware of what's happening, right? So they're going to be the children of the night, who are the everyday sheeple that are just stuck in this world, just going by. They're going to be caught off of unaware, right? When things start going down, explosions start happening, electricity won't turn on anymore, they're going to be the ones caught with their pants down. So hopefully this video was edifying, Akim. Until next time, I want to give all honor and glory and praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Ruach HaKodesh. Shalom.